veins of vengeance. The news of Kamal's arrest sent shockwaves through the city, stirring a mix of relief and horror among its residents. The Butcher of Shadows had been unmasked, but the scars he left behind lingered like an ominous specter. As the city grappled with the revelation, the families of Kamal's victims found themselves entangled in a web of grief and disbelief. For the parents of Fahim, the engineer whose trust had been betrayed, the arrest offered a semblance of closure, yet the wounds ran deep. The courtroom became a stage for their anguish as they faced the man who had stolen their son's future. The trial unfolded like a dark play, each witness recounting the nightmarish tales of Kamal's deceit. The prosecutor painted a vivid picture of a man who had manipulated, murdered, and buried the remnants of his victims in the hidden recesses of his life. The air in the courtroom became heavy with the weight of justice seeking to balance the scales. The families of the deceased, bound by a shared tragedy, found solace in one another's company. A support group emerged, a fragile alliance born from the ashes of their collective pain. In their eyes, vengeance danced with justice, and the courtroom became a battleground for the healing of wounded souls. Among the attendees was a tenacious journalist named Noor, whose investigations had played a pivotal role in exposing Kamal's malevolent machinations. Her pen had been a sword, slashing through the lies that had shielded the Butcher of Shadows. Now, with each word she penned for the public, Noor sought to immortalize the stories of the fallen and ensure that their voices echoed through the corridors of time. As the trial progressed, Kamal's defense crumbled beneath the weight of evidence and testimonies. The facade of the man who wore shadows as a cloak melted away, revealing the monster that lurked beneath. Yet, even in the face of undeniable guilt, Kamal maintained a chilling composure, his eyes void of remorse or empathy. The climax of the trial approached as the families confronted Kamal, their eyes burning with a mix of grief and righteous anger. The air crackled with tension as each word spoken carried the weight of 1,000 tears. In the eyes of the bereaved, Kamal was not just a criminal. He was the embodiment of the darkness that had stolen their loved ones. The judge's gavel fell, delivering a sentence that echoed through the courtroom like a final judgment. Kamal, now stripped of his aliases and false identities, was condemned to a life behind bars, a fitting prison for a man who had imprisoned the souls of his victims. As the heavy doors of the courtroom closed behind Kamal, the city exhaled a collective breath it hadn't known it was holding. The Butcher of Shadows was no longer a phantom haunting the shadows. He was a man, stripped of his illusions and condemned by the very society he had sought to manipulate. Yet, in the silence that followed, a lingering question hung in the air. How does a city reclaim its sense of security when the shadows themselves have betrayed it? The answers remained elusive, hidden in the depths of Alexandria's haunted past, awaiting discovery in the chapters yet to be written. Chapter 3: Echoes of Justice. As the court pronounced Kamal Farouk Hassan guilty, the city of Alexandria trembled beneath the weight of justice. The Butcher of Shadows, once a phantom in the shadows, was now a prisoner of his own malevolence. The families of the victims, their grief etched deep into their beings, sought solace in the resolution that justice had prevailed. Behind the cold, imposing walls of the Alexandria Correctional Facility, Kamal found himself stripped of the deceptive personas that had shielded him. The prison became a crucible of reality, the very antithesis of the shadows he had once wielded as weapons. No longer the chameleon, Kamal now faced the unyielding gaze of confinement. Within the prison's confines, a new chapter of the story unfolded. Kamal, once the puppeteer of lives, became a captive audience to his own narrative. The inmates, each with their own tales of despair, whispered rumors about the infamous Butcher of Shadows. The prison walls echoed with the weight of his deeds, and Kamal found himself surrounded by shadows that offered no escape. Simultaneously, the families of the victims grappled with the aftermath of the trial. Justice, though served, brought a bittersweet respite. The wounds carved by Kamal's actions remained, leaving scars that time alone could attempt to heal. The support group formed during the trial became a lifeline, a shared bond that transcended the pain of loss. Noor, the tenacious journalist whose investigations had brought Kamal to justice, continued her quest for truth. Armed with the echoes of anguish and a determination to unveil the complete narrative, she delved deeper into the Butcher of Shadows' twisted psyche. Her pen, now a beacon of justice, sought to immortalize the stories of the fallen and expose the shadows that lingered within the city. As the city sought to rebuild from the ruins of deception, a newfound resilience took root. The scars, both physical and emotional, became symbols of survival and the triumph of justice over malevolence. The haunting past, once dominated by the Butcher of Shadows, became a testament to the city's strength and its ability to confront even the darkest of secrets. Yet, even within the confines of the prison, Kamal harbored a darkness that defied confinement. His mind, a labyrinth of unanswered questions, remained an enigma. The prison guards tasked with ensuring his incarceration became unwitting keepers of a malevolent legacy. The tale of Kamal Farouk Hassan, now etched into the city's history, echoed through the corridors of justice and incarceration alike. The Butcher of Shadows, once the master of deception, now grappled with the consequences of his actions. The shadows that had once danced at his command now whispered of a different truth, that justice, in its unwavering pursuit, could pierce even the darkest of veils. As the city took its first steps toward healing, the echoes of justice resonated, promising that the Butcher of Shadows would remain confined not only within prison walls, but within the annals of a history determined to learn from its darkest chapters. Epilogue. Shadows. Dissipate years passed, and the tale of Kamal Farouk Hassan, the Butcher of Shadows, faded into the annals of history. The city of Alexandria, once haunted by the echoes of his malevolence, embarked on a journey of healing and renewal. The scars of the past, though not forgotten, became a testament to the resilience of a community that had faced the darkness within and emerged stronger. Noor, the intrepid journalist who had played a pivotal role in exposing Kamal's crimes, continued to document stories of triumph and resilience. Her pen, once wielded against the shadows, now championed the narratives of those who had overcome adversity. The victims, once silenced, became beacons of strength, their memories preserved in the collective consciousness of a city determined to move forward. The families of the victims found solace in the passage of time. The support group, born from shared grief, evolved into a network of mutual support and understanding. As they faced the challenges of rebuilding their lives, the echoes of anguish transformed into echoes of resilience, a chorus that resonated through the city's collective spirit. Within the prison walls, Kamal Farouk Hassan, now a forgotten relic of a bygone era, remained confined to the shadows of his own making. The once chameleon, stripped of his deceptive disguises, grappled with the consequences of his malevolent legacy. The prison guards, once vigilant sentinels, watched over a man whose time had become a mere footnote in the city's history. Justice, though served, left unanswered questions lingering in the minds of those who had witnessed the Butcher of Shadows' reign. The city, ever watchful, remained vigilant against the encroaching shadows, ensuring that the lessons learned from the dark chapters of its past were not forgotten. And so, the tale of Shadows Unveiled reached its conclusion. The city, once bound by the malevolence that had gripped it, emerged from the shadows with a renewed sense of purpose. As the sun set on Alexandria, casting long shadows that dissipated into the night, the promise of a brighter future beckoned, a future where justice prevailed, and the echoes of the past served as reminders that even the darkest shadows could be overcome.